Hi everyone, it's Mandy-Jane from Imagination Crafts. Welcome to my Sunday night Facebook Live. Today, excuse me, I just caught me opening paints again. Today we're playing with the Starlight Paints and we're going to use them to do the acrylic pours. I was asked, I don't know your name, so if you are watching tonight, let me know that you're here, because I was asked for this specifically a few weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, to see if we could play with this, okay, because they've seen it and haven't actually used it with the Starlights. Now, if anyone knows Jean Hendon from BJ Crafts, if you go around the shows, you'll see her demonstrating a version of this as well, okay? Hi, Jean. So we all had a play with this. I've been playing with this technique now since about 2015. I remember doing this in classes back when I had my shop. But of course, everyone finds different ways of using it. So tonight I'm going to try and give you a couple of different ways of using our products. We're using Starlight Paints, we're going to be using our Magi Glaze, we'll be using our Magi Blend, also we're using our Magi Bond Glue. So I'm going to tell you a couple of different ways to get your pouring medium for the base of your project using all our fabulous Imagination Crafts products. Okay, so if I just show you what we'll be working with, okay, so first of all I just want to introduce you to the products and then I'll show you what I've been playing with. Okay, so we will be using our Magi Blend, I'm sorry, we'll be back to front, our Magi Blend blending solution. This is fantastic if you use this into paints, because what happens is it makes it more free flowing. And also if you use mica powders, it can make it into beautiful paints. So again, you can make sure this sticks then to your acetate in your glass. It makes it really work well on acetate in glass, but it's fabulous for this technique, okay? And you can use it to make your spritzers as well if you want to make the paint dissolve and stay in sort of fresher for longer, I suppose. I don't know how else to put it, but you can use your Magi Blend for that as well, okay? We've also been using our, well, what's left of my Magi Glaze. Now the Magi Glaze, I don't know if you've used this or seen this before, but again, this can put into paints and this makes it more fluid. It opens the drying time, so we can do lots of techniques with this. But again, we can use this as a flow medium, okay, in our project. So I will be showing you that. Another way we can use this is we can use our Magi Bond, make sure I've got which bottle, our Magi Bond glue, and we can mix that then to make our own pouring medium. So it makes a fabulous way of doing that with our paints. So I'll be showing you that as well. Okay, we'll be working with a nice selection. I won't pull them off, I'll pull lids off now. A nice selection of our Starlight paints. Okay, nice bright colours. And we'll be using gesso as a base. You can use gesso on your paint. You can use your soft blend white as well, but we're using the gesso as a base. You'll need plain water. Also, we'll be using some washing up liquid in some water, and I'll tell you why about that afterwards. And then I've got different variation of things to put in to create some cells. Okay, I will not be working with a blowtorch tonight, just to let you know. Okay, one, my blowtorch is absolutely knackered. It doesn't work. I went to try and get one today. I couldn't find one. So I will try and do it with my heat tool, but I can't guarantee we'll get the same result. Okay, but you'll get the idea of how to use them, how to blend them, and how we're going to work with them. So if I show you a couple of things I've worked on already, but I only done these last night, so they are dry. Different things doing the acrylic pours with our products is they dry quicker. Okay, which when you do a full acrylic pour, they can take up to a week to dry, depending on what layers you put onto them. So we can get these dry in like 24 hours. So it's really good. If I just pop the camera down a little bit, so it's not so glary for you. Hi everybody for joining me. I haven't quite caught up on my tablet yet. We'll get there. So I'm sorry about the delay, it's a bit glazy. I'm going to start off showing you this one I did last night. I'm going to put the camera right down because that's far too glaring. There you go. So I'm going to show you this one. Now, these two here, believe it or not, are from exactly the same pour. Okay, I have the same colours, but they're from the same pour. Okay, just that this one had the more white in it as a base, and then when I poured it again, I got this one here, which I actually really like that one. But not to be wasteful, because you know me, I don't like to waste anything. What was left there, I had a little bit left. So what I did was, I popped it along, and I'll show you this, a swipe technique with some paper towel, and then at least I can use the background, it's not wasted. What else I'll be showing you today is I haven't finished this yet, I made it last night, but I have done a pour onto a little china bowl. There you go. So I'll take exactly, and I'll show you how we did that and what I've done to finish it. But yeah, really little cheap bar, I think it was 90p in Tesco's or £1, and then we just used our Starlight pour on there with a gorgeous emerald in there. We've got the gorgeous blue, I got the gorgeous pink and some white in there. Okay, thank you, Emma. Hi all. Okay, so that's just a couple of ideas for you. I'm just going to get up. You notice I've got gloves on today. I'm trying to be nice and tidy today, but it is, you know, you will need to use gloves for this. Okay, so if I can just get to the page, because I've got gloves on, it isn't letting me poke on the page. So bear me 2 seconds. She says I have to take my glove off just to move the page along. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Right then. So we're going to start. Where are we going to start? At the beginning, we're going to mix our base up. Okay. I'm just trying to get onto the page and it's not letting me on the page. Never mind. So I'm going to try a different way around. Let's have a look. I'm sorry about this, but I need to be reading your comments as we go along because I think you might have questions for this one. So let me try and get it up. Right, I don't know whereabouts we are, but there we go. I'm back. Let me just swipe this so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. So she says now I've got a sweaty glove. So yes, you are going to need to wear gloves for this. I find it, I'll tell you, I get another glove out, it's a lot easier. It's nice and dry. I don't like wearing gloves. Everyone knows I don't like crafting in gloves, but for this, I really would recommend you using gloves. So I'm just got my scissors on. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is how you make up our white background base. And the white background base is what we're going to use for the base of our colours to add in. So I always make up a lot more of the white. So what I do is, I've got a load of different plastic cups here. I always reuse them. I wash them out and reuse them. They last for ages. So I've just got a plastic cup, glass, anything you like, pudding dish, whatever. I keep all, I got ice cream containers. Look, just like that. Ha, my hearties. But I got anything I can find cheap, I buy for pots. Okay. So what you're going to need first of all is we're going to be working with white gesso. Okay. You could use soft blend white as well if you want. And I'm going to be working with my Magic Glaze and some of the blending solution. Okay, and you will use sorry, you will use water as well to get it to consistency we need. So the first thing I'm going to do, okay, is I'm going to take some gesso. Now I am going to be working in roughly the same proportions as for my paint or my gesso as I am for my Magic Glaze, which make my blending easier. Okay, let me just get lots of baby wipes ready because I'm a messy worker. So then when I get my Magic Glaze, okay, I'm going to put in about the same amount. Okay, as you can see, there we get in there. Okay, so then I'm going to pop that into my container as well. And this makes the paint take longer to dry, which means I get a great pour and a great effect. Okay, I'm going to pop that in the water. Now what I'm going to do, get that there. Okay, so I'm going to blend that, and I got some just lolly sticks. So I have to blend that now. When you're working with the gesso, because it is very thick, you want to make sure you blend it and get the lumps out, okay? Because you want a nice smooth pour. Okay, so we just start blending that initially, first of all. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to blend that. I'm going to put some of my blending solution in it to help with the consistency and the pour of my paint. Okay, and with the Magic Glaze, basically what it is a you can put it into your paints. Okay, and make sure then that they in equal parts, I will say. Okay. And it keeps the paint wetter for longer, okay? And you can use it to create all sorts of effects, ragging and all sorts, marbling. You name it, you can do that because it gives you the longer time to work with, and that's why I like to use it in the pouring, because then it gives me longer time to work with it. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I've mixed some of that in now, and now I'm going to add some water, and we want a pouring cream consistency. So you're looking for a single cream. Oh, I don't eat cream, so single Elmley. Other brands are available. Okay, and we want it to run. So at the moment, see that's too thick. If I just show you that, it's absolutely too thick at the moment. So I'm going to add a little bit more water. And this is just, I normally mix up a big container, sort of a big bottle of this, because this is the one I use all the time. The tip is though, okay, is if you're going to mix it and store it, okay, you're going to need to use either distilled water or cold boiled water, because as we all, as we know, there are contaminants in tap water. Won't do us any harm, but if you leave them in, if you put them into your mousses or your waxes or your paints, if it's not distilled, then what happens is it can go mouldy. Okay, so as long as you use distilled water or boil cold, you're welcome Emma, or cold boiled water, then storing isn't a problem. If I can, I'm trying to show you this now. Can you see that sort of a flowing nicely? I might put a tiny bit more in. I want to make sure all the lumps are out. So a little bit more water. There we go. So I'm making that down. Make sure it's nicely mixed. So let's have a look now. So you can see now that's flowing off our stick. Okay. Hoping you can see that. So that is our white base, which we're going to use for all our projects if we want to lighten them up. Okay. So I pop that to one side. I have ones already made, so I'm going to use up what I've got here first of all. Okay. So, oh, excuse me. I'm going to pop that in there just so I don't spill that water. So as you can see in here now, okay, this is exactly the same as I've made there. Okay, and that's just our pouring consistency. So that is my base to use now. Okay. So let me just put the lid on the gesso. So that's our white made. Now, when it comes to our colours, I've already got some ready, but I want to show you how I mix them up. I take these little, like I take shot containers, depends how much paint you want to make. But when I only work on small canvases, small projects, if I do a larger canvas, I'll make 2 or 3 cups and I'll fill the canvas that way, okay? So what you're going to do with this is we're going to take some of this, some of our gorgeous Starlights. Okay, if I take 3 colours out and we'll show you. So I'm going to be using here, I've got the bright fuchsia. Let's get the lid off. There we go. I've got bright fuchsia, I've got amethyst, wrong bin, you went on the carpet then, changed bin size, and I have got mint, okay. So I'm going to get a spoon out for each colour. I've just got plastic party spoons I use, again I reuse them all. So what I'm going to do is pop a teaspoon of each of my paints into my, each one will have a different, each colour have a different pot. Okay, so I'm trying to mix them up in equal amounts, and then I'm going to take this beautiful amethyst colour, okay, and pop that into my pot. I don't want it over, I've got some mixed already. Okay, so we've got our paints there. Okay, so what I'm going to use now is I have got a really weak solution here. Hope you can see it. A really weak solution of water with a couple of drops of washing up liquid in it. Now why we use this is, one, you can blend it down, but also it breaks down the water tension in the paint, which then makes it flow better. Okay, so that's what it does. So when you do your dishes, what happens is it'll cling to the dirt in your dishes, not go straight into the water. That's what it's for. So it releases the water tension, lets it do its work. Okay, so that's the only reason I use that. I will be using water as well. So I only want a little bit of this in, because I haven't got a lot of paint in there. And then you're going to do the same as you did earlier on. You're going to mix your paints up. Okay. Now we're looking for the same, she says, I'm doing a messy job here, aren't I? We're looking for the same consistency. I'll tell you what, I'm going to swap out to my sticks. I prefer my sticks. So we want the same consistency as we were with our white. You can see it's not quite there yet. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to put some a little bit of water in. Okay, tiny bit at a time, because you don't want it too thin. Otherwise, it just won't cover your canvas. It won't stick to your canvas. It will run off too much, okay? So again, give it a good old stir, because you want to get all that paint at the bottom. And you can see there, we've got a pouring consistency going on there, okay? Now, what I tend to do with my, if you want more cells, because the water detergent in here also helps with making cells. But if you want a few more cells, you can add in a little bit more of your blending solution, your Magi-Blend solution. Okay, so I got in that one. Another way we can do this, we'll put a little bit of this in. So I'm trying to give you different ways to create the cells. Okay, again, I'm swapping the spoon out for the stick. I find it a lot easier. I don't splash it as much, so basically it's because I'm a messy worker. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put a little tiny bit of water in, not too much. Okay, it's better to add too little than too much, otherwise I'm going to start adding more paint. The more you mix it, make sure it is mixed well. Okay. I might put a tiny bit more paint in that one. Tiny bit more paint there. There we go. That's better. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So on this one now, we put in the pink one. We put in more of my blending solution. Okay. This one, I'm going to make sure it's flowing. Yeah. This one, I'm going to add in a little bit of WD-40, whatever spray you got. Okay, so I'm literally going to put a little spray in there, so it's equivalent to a couple of drops, and then just mix it. I like the smell. I shouldn't, but I didn't. I do. Right, so now with the amethyst, I'm going to pop in some of my mixture there. I'm taking the spoon out again because I'm rubbish with the spoons. There we go. So I'm going to mix this up again. And this time, I want to make sure I give you many options you can, because our products are so useful. They're so usable with other things you do. See, that's too thick. So we're going to pop in just some little bit of water. A couple of drops. I may put a tiny bit too much in there. I'll put a tiny bit more paint in that one, because you've got to overdone it again. Okay, I got too much. There we go. Okay, that's better. Okay, told you it's just getting it until you're happy with the consistency. There we go. Okay, there we go. And then this one, what I'm going to do, I've got some vegetable oil here. So you could use vegetable oil. You could use I'm trying to think. Olive oil, you can do anything. I haven't got the olive oil, but I have got vegetable oil. So all you want to do really is add 2 drops of oil into it, something like that. You don't need a lot. Okay, we're going to mix that in. So just 3 different ways of adding in something into the background. Okay, let me pop that there. I'm trying not to get too messy for you. So we've got 3 colours on the go here. Okay, I still want more paint in that one. But I have got some mixed up already. So in this one now, remember, we've got an extra Magi-Blend. In this one here, we've got some WD-40, and then this one then, or lubricant, and this one then, we've got a couple of drops of vegetable oil. Okay, it could be olive oil, it's up to you. Let me pop them there. Okay, so we've got 3 colours there, and we've got our white as well. All right. There we go. So, bear with me. What I also like to do is I like to have, there we go. I'm going to have some just watered down gesso as well, because I want to get it matte, okay? So I'm just going to do just the gesso and a tiny bit of water. Okay. There we go. I like that in case I need to add in a little bit extra. Have a little bit of gesso. I mean, you can do this with your Magi-Blend, your soft blend fabric paints. You can see what I mean by the lumps. That's why with the gesso you've got to keep mixing, 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 mixing until it's done. Okay. There we go. There we go. Are you there? Okay. Just going to add a little bit of water. There we go. Right then. Yay, we're there at last. Okay. So, I might add that in as my... There we go. That's my base. Just in case I need it, I would like to have extra white. Right then. So, let's move this out of the way and let's get some pouring done. So, what you've got here is I've got a tin tray because I'm actually crafting in my sitting room as always. I will be moving soon. I can really be careful what I spill where, if I'm honest. So, I've got old yogurt pot pudding container under there, or you can use upside down pots, just something to lift it away. Or if you've got a little old roasting rack, that is absolutely superb to do. And if you've got a big enough table, you can do it on the whole table. If you do it on top of freezer paper and then let it dry, it can get great acrylic skins from it. Really, really great. You can use in all your backgrounds. So when it's dry, oh, I haven't got a very good one here, but when it's dried and peeled off, you get these wonderful pieces of acrylic paint. Look at the gorgeous colours in this. If you want texture, you've got texture that side, and that's the back side. They look fabulous on your journals or in part of it, or on jewellery. They look amazing. So I thought I'd keep that to show you. Okay. Right, so here we have, I've got a just a little canvas. Okay. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my, she says, nearly knocking my pots over. Same thing of working with small pots. So I'm going to take some of my white base. That's what I like to do. And I'm just going to give a light coat to my canvas. So I just pour it on and I'm going to spread it around with my palette knife. Okay. And this just makes it flow easier onto the canvas because you want to keep it flowing. Okay. You never know what you're going to get. You never know. And that's why I like acrylics. I've done them for years, but I love them because everything's different. It's never the same. It's all something different. So there you've got a nice coat of our that white, our base there. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get, there we go. I'm going to use this gesso base for now as a starter. Okay. There we go. The gesso base will give me a more a nice matte finish. It is a tiny bit I'm using on there. Okay, and the base of my cup. So I have my white gesso in my cup. Then what I'm going to do then, I think I'll start off, and we have got our amethyst here. Okay, so I'm going to pour, you see, some of that amethyst into there. Then I'm going to take some of the pink. Okay, and I'm going to tip some of that in. I'm going to my third, what I call third colour, my third real colour. And I'm going to tip some of the mint in. I love this colour. And then I'm going to add some of my white. Okay. I'm going to add some of my purple, so a little couple of drops. Oops, she says, spilling it. There you go. And then I'm going to add some of my pink. There you go. And then there's all sorts of ways you can do this. We could pour this from this side and then tip it around, or we could flip the cup. I've already got paint on there, but I could do a quick flip on here. But what I like to do, I'm going to hold it up and do a pour from the top, just so you can see. So I'm going to do, because what is it? I will do a flip cup for you as well. But I like to pour from the top. Okay. There you go. And last bit of white. Any colour then left in my cup, I'm going to tap onto the edges, because you always find you don't get as much colour on the corners. Okay, so beautiful sort of marbling look on there now. Okay, with our starlights, and I wish you could see the shimmer. I don't know if you can you see? It's gorgeous shimmer on it, really nice. So I would let that normally sit for a little while. For this one I will do a flip as well. I'll give you a couple of different versions of it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my heat gun 2 seconds and see if I can get rid of my air bubbles. Okay, you can do this with a torch if you want. I'm just doing it here because this actually brings some of the cells up, what we've got in there, and our cells are created between the oil and the washing up liquid. Okay, it is a very, very mild dilution of it. Okay, there we go. So a little bit longer with this heat gun. Don't use heat tool, yes. So you've got this one, you've got a Ranger one, or you've got one of these ones because they're designed to be held close and they don't move it around too much. The problem with a normal hairdryer or a heat tool, a long one, it's going to blow the paint everywhere. It's not going to sit where you want it. Okay. Again, that is a technique though, so don't discharge it. It is a technique. Okay. So we've got this so far, and if you can see where it's all broken up my air bubbles now. There you go. Can you see that? All right. So then you can start. We're going to start just tilting, and we'll see where we go. Again, just tilting. Overdrive that a little bit there. Oops. Just tilting again because we've only got a couple of colours. You can see we've lost the mint. Okay, so I'm just going to bring that down here. You can see with the heat tool, what it's done is made little skins on it, I think. Okay, again, hit and miss. I will tilt it so you can see it now. So you just keep moving the paint around. Okay, if you see bits you like or bits you don't like, is even easier, then you can tip the paint away and get rid of the areas you don't like. Okay, and then I'm going to tip it this way as well. Okay, and as it dries, other cells will develop. Now I can see here that although it's a look, I have got little lumps from my gesso. So that looks smooth. It wasn't, but I'm not going to worry about that. That is going to be an effect for me. Okay, and then at the sides where it's missed, I'm just going to tap on the sides, add on. Okay, so we got a really, really pastel finish to that one. Hi Ali, hi Victoria, hi Barbara, hi Sandra. So if I bring this up now, you can see how it's created those broken up pieces of paint in there. You see? So what you'll leave that to dry. Okay, and we'll do a cup pour next. Okay, let me just move this to one side. She says, onto the floor. And we'll bring in another tray. Okay, let me move those out of the way for you. And what I'm going to do is, I've already got some mixed here, so you haven't got to watch me mixing them up again. Okay, so I have got some gorgeous blue. Okay, so this is actually just cool blue. I have got some pink, so you get some nice lilacs then. So this is a bright fuchsia. And I have got, she says, some, ooh, what colour should we go for? I'll go for chartreuse. We'll give that a go. The chartreuse is a sort of greeny gold, really. We'll see. It might muddy up, it might not, but we'll see. So I'm going to grab a couple of cups upside down in my tray. And I'm going to bring in another canvas. Okay. Now this time I'm going to do a flip for you. Okay. So, get my cup. I'm going to put some white in the bottom, my white there. Okay. I'm going to add in some of the blue. There we go. I'm going to add in some of my pink. There we go. I'm going to add in some of this gold. It's like chartreuse. Not too much though. Okay. Now I might add a bit more white. Not add too much white because I don't want it whited out. There we go. And I think maybe a bit more pink. I think we've got quite a lot of blue in there. There you go. And we'll see what happens with that. Now what you can do with this, you can cut it. And when I say cut it, you're going to get a stick, okay? And I'm just going to slice through it. So what happens is that should stop, help mix in the white, okay? So when you do a flip, okay, you're going to take your cup, you're going to put it onto the canvas, and then we're going to flip it over, holding the cup as best you can, okay? Don't worry if you get a couple of little leaks, doesn't matter. And what I like to do to get the flow is I will add in a little bit of white, okay, around the base of my cup. And that's just so when it flows out, it'll still flow towards the edges. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now, when you're doing a flip cup, this is just how I do it. There are lots of different ways of doing this. I'm just showing you some really, really basic techniques. Okay. Hey, Melanie. I may not put enough in, or sometimes it can be overpowered by the white. So I may have put too much white in, not enough mint, but sometimes the white will overpower things. So you've got to be, careful you put a lot of colours in. I'm going for quite pastel-y colours today. I don't know why, I'm not really a pastel girl, but that's how we lost the mint, okay? So I'd either draw back on the white a bit and add a bit more mint, take my other colours and less than that. So it's just how many pours you put in, how many layers, okay? So normally I let my cup settle for a few minutes, okay, and that means all the paint will come down, and when we take the cup off, then it'll, get a nice spread. So I normally leave that for 5 minutes before actually lifting anything off and taking it off, okay. So we've got our water there, so I'm going to pour it off, take it off now, okay. So I'm going to ease it off, okay, and lift it. Ah, look, ooh, that's looking nice, okay. That is looking lovely. So we've got some lovely, lovely cells going on in this one. So let's just tip it and see. I don't want to lose my cells. Let me get my heat gun 2 seconds, so I can see. She says, where have I got my heat gun? There it is. I haven't got much room on my desk all this. You haven't seen what's behind it. So I'm just going to take out some of the air bubbles. Okay. There we go. Just let it settle. Okay. Let's see what we can get. You just don't know what you're going to get. You really don't. Brilliant. So we're going to start. I'm going to start tilting this one now. Okay, let's see what we can get if I go this way. Okay, woo. And then if we go back this way, because by laying that white down, I'm being able to make it flow across the canvas. I mean, I would normally take more time pouring, but I don't want to sit here and, right, what I might do, I'm looking quite muddy there. I'm going to put in a bit more white here. That's looking quite muddy, and we don't want muddy. So I'm going to put more in there, just for now. See, you just play with it. You just keep playing with it. And that way, give me a nice flow in that corner. Okay. A nice flow in this corner. Okay. Let's just keep going. It's nearly there. Oops, there we go. So we've got a nice corner there. This one we can just tap in, to fill in any gaps, okay? And then I'm going to tip it down this way, and I'm going to again add a tiny bit of white down in this bit here, okay? And then we just keep tipping until we get the look we're after. Ooh, I'm quite liking this one. Now when you miss the edges, like this one here, just going to tap on the edges. The paint that's in your tray, okay, you can then dip your canvas into, okay? So that paint will cover the edges. Okay, I'm having to turn it away, I know, I'm sorry. Just so I can see what I'm doing. So that then, oh, I'm liking that one. We're liking that one. That's lovely, isn't it? Hey, Deborah. So that I'm liking. Okay. I do like that one. Let me just move that paint off there. So I'm going to pop that back down. Now, as that dries, it may develop lots of, as it's drying, oh, I don't know if you can see it. As it's settling down now, okay, I can see the some cells appearing. Can you see that? Some cells appearing. So that's where the oil and the wash nut liquid are acting, breaking down the surface underneath. So they're splitting the paint from the from water and from everything else in there. That's what they do. There we go. Do any gaps. Okay. Oh, I'm liking that. I am liking that. But I have got a couple of little gaps that need filling in. And I'm going to use my finger for this and some of the blue from the tray, greeny blue. But I'm liking that one. Yes, that's a lovely colour. I'm liking that one. Now, I don't know if I apply any more heat. I've only actually got one wire working on my... It's broken. I've got one round. Let's just see if I can... Let's just move that. Doing that, and I'm going to do a pour onto your ceramic, I think, next. Okay. There we go. Let's just see. Oh, that was popping up there. Get rid of those air bubbles. Okay. I'm liking that one. I think that is going to dry and be lovely when it's dry. Okay, so that's a nice pour. I'm happy with that one. That'd be gorgeous when it's done. Okay, so I'm going to pop that one on the floor now. I'll be back now. 2 seconds. I'm running out of floor space. I don't want to tip it over. I don't want to get paint on the kitchen furniture. I was liking that one. That was a nice one. So, there we go. So this time I'll pinch one of my pirate caps. And I have, there we go. It's a really little cheap china dish, just to show you. So I pop that upside down on there, yeah. And then we can make a pour for this one. Now I did make up some colours and I want to show you these. Now these I have put in a little bit of it's the paints, but I've added some gesso to make them pastel colours. So it's the same, so I made them up, like I wrap them up and I don't use them if I'm doing small pots. See, and that's a mint as well, but it's got gesso into it. And then I've used the amethyst again and made it into a lilac colour with the gesso. Okay, so I am hoping I'm going to have enough. What I might do is with the blue pour we had left, I might make a little bit more of this with my white. Okay, so I'm going to pour some of the blue in there. There we go. I'm going to add some what we mixed up earlier on to make it, I'm going to mix this because I want it a paler colour. Okay, so I've just mixed up a little bit more of our paler colour. Okay, then this one here I might just make up a little bit more using some more of the mix. There we go. So we get a nice real pale, but it's a nice hint of a colour in there. But again, don't like it, you just put in some more of the Starlights. go. I'm going to mix it in. There we go, mixing that in now. Okay. Now I'm not worrying so much on this one, that's going to be too thick, about creating any cells or anything, because I want it to cling to my pot. Okay. That's better. Okay, so we've got some blue, got that one, and then we've got our lilac, which I'm going to add in a little bit more of the white again. Okay, and I'm going to stir it, and then I have enough for the pour then. Okay, there we go. So we've got the right consistency now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the cup for this pour now. So I'm getting my little spare cup here, move that to one side. So I'm going to start off with my white base. Okay, so that's a colour that's going to come out last, if you think about it, yeah. Then I'm going to pop in some of my lilac, some of this gorgeous blue colour we've just made more of, and this lovely mint colour. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to pop that in. There's going to be quite a lot of white there, so I'm going to pop a little bit more of the lilac in. And maybe a touch more of the blue. There you go. I am going to slice just gently through. I don't want to ruin all my colours. Okay, she says with paint everywhere. Hi Celia. Yes, Celia. Now I would always say a minimum of 3 colours. Okay, that's just me. I'd always say minimum of 3. Again, if you've got a colour wheel, use your colour wheel, because then you'll stop yourself from getting muddy. It's like sometimes when you mix a red and a blue together, it could be muddy. It's like when you mix your colours, think about the colours you're layering up. If you have a yellow and a pink, you get an orange colour. Okay, and then if you have a pink and then a yellow, you get an orange colour. Then if you were to put blue on top of that, you get a sort of a green from mixing the yellow with the blue, and you get a lilac, a purple colour, mixing the pink with the blue. So you can get a really nice selection of colours. But check your colour wheel, or get yourself a colour wheel if you haven't got one. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pour this over here. Now you could, here we go, do it as a flip. Okay, so if I pop that like that and try and get it back over my tub. Okay, and then once I let it go, I'm just going to let it sit for a couple of seconds, because I want all that paint to be at the base of here when I take it off. Okay, so give that a couple of minutes there. But there's so much you can do with these. Oh, Kaylee, I love the idea, I do, on ceramics. Again, I'll bring this one in whilst waiting for that to settle. This one, I painted, I've let the dry. I dried it overnight, okay, and then what I've done is I've taken some spray and shine, because it was matte, I want it shinier. I've taken some Crafts Companion spray and shine and given it, I've only given it 2 coats on here, could do with another one, given it 2 coats. Then once it's dry, what I'm going to do, because I'm not, I haven't finished the edges yet, I am going to paint the inside using my gorgeous emerald. I'm going to paint the inside with my emerald. And when that's all dry, then I will seal that with varnish, and then I'm going to gild around the edges. So I'm either going to use my rich gold around the side there, okay, and give it a couple of coats and try and gild that with a fine paintbrush. But what a lovely little sweetie dish, something. It's really easy. Of course, you could do it on bigger bowls, depends how much, you can't just make a larger cup. So now I've let that settle down, okay. You're welcome, Celia. Hi, Lorna. Lorna Horrocks. Hello. So now we're going to release it. Okay, so release the Kraken. All right, so here we go. Woo! So then you're just going to let it pour itself. Just let it settle. Okay, it's going to cling on. All right. The edges where you think it's not clinging. This is what I do. Is I will maybe get my cup, and with what colours left into it, okay, I will stir it around just on the edges of my cup. I don't want white. just the edges on my cup there. And if I want to add more colour somewhere, I will, because we've got a little dip in the top of this, I will pour the colour on there, okay, and then I will direct it from the base, because I'm not really going to see the base, so I like to direct it from the base to get my drips. And then if I see something not quite, I just help shift it along with the very, very tip. Okay, the very, very tip. So I'm just taking this pool of paint to create. Can you see? I'm just going down there. I'm just helping it along. I'm not pulling it down, but I am just helping the colour along in areas where I feel I want. I'm just guiding it, and that's the way I want the drip to go. Okay. Now with this side here, I think that needs a bit of guidance. I'm pulling some of that paint down. There you are. And I'm just guiding it down to pieces that I want the drips to go. Okay, I'm guiding it. I'm not pushing it anywhere. There we go. And I'm guiding it down here as well. Whee! Oh, I like a pour. I do enjoy it. Again, I want some lilac down that side there. Okay, so you just play with it until you are happy. It's your project. You can do what you like with it. Okay, there we go. I'm just guiding it. I don't want to scrape it off the surface. So I'm just guiding it around, making sure it's all covered. Okay, we've got a bit there that isn't quite covered. There we go. So you just keep playing until you are happy. You might say, oh, do you know what? I want a little tiny bit more blue, and you just add it, blend it in, there you go, until you're happy. And then I can put this last little bit over the top of that, and that will give me the colour I am looking for. Okay, so that is on your ceramics. So that is going to take over, you're going to have to leave that overnight to dry. Okay, so what I do is, before I let it dry, I will take off, because it will settle down, and once it gets to the last of its drippage, as we call it, I will take my kebab stick. There you go. I think it's technical as that. It's a kebab stick. Okay. And I will just take off those excess strips when I see them on it. Okay. Just on the edge. I don't want to go up into it. I just go around the edge, take off those excess drips, because we can clean that edge up afterwards. And then you're going to leave that to dry, like I said, for 24 hours, and it was perfectly dry. And then you can split. So if you want to leave it matte, you can. I like to put a protective coat onto it. Oh, sorry, Lillian, not again. Oh, we'll see you later, Lillian. I'm so sorry, okay? Kaylee, these are Starlight paints. So I'm trying to show you what the Starlight paints can do. They are fantastic paint. They're used for multiple surfaces, multiple techniques. So I just wanted to show you here how you can use them to do all your acrylic pours. You can use this on glass, onto wood, onto card, onto concrete, onto stone. You can use them on loads and loads of things here, okay? You can mix it with your gesso. You can mix it with your soft blend fabric paint. So lots of different techniques you can use, and use them in different ways. So that is our, hope you like, that is our little dish. Can you see? Ever so cute. And when it dries, it's beautiful. So we're just going to spray that and we'll varnish afterwards. I'm going to show you something else now. Bear with. On the floor again. Yeah. Ooh, I am running out of floor space now. Yeah, okay. Let's see what else we can do. Right, I wanted to show you a quick technique, she says. And I'm going to have to get out a little canvas for you. Okay. Don't forget, you can do this on gift boxes on top of a box. Don't have to be canvases. You can do this on all sorts. So, oops, come back here. I'm going to do a really, really quick pour, and I'm going to show you what else you can do with these if you want to pipe them on. Okay. So I've got, what have we got here? I've got pink. We've got mint. Whatever colour we got. And we got gold. I'm going what colours I have in front of me. Alright. So we have got some chartreuse. Okay, let me clean that. I have got some bright fuchsia, and we have got our soft pastel mint colour. Okay, so I think on my soft pastel mint colour, I'm going to put in a drop of vegetable oil, because I didn't put anything in this one. There you go, 2 drops, it's plenty. Okay, and then I'm just going to mix that in. There we go. So it's going to be a really, really quick one, because this is the next technique I use on top of it that I really want to show you. Okay, so, oops, she says, paint everywhere. No mind, we're going to cover that anyway. Okay, so you get a cup. Okay, pour some of the my white in. Okay, then I'm going to pop some of the gold in, chartreuse. Then I'm going to pop some of the pink in. See, I'm not being careful here because I just want to show you the next part of the technique. And then I'm going to pop some of this on. Okay, and then I might put a tiny bit more of the white in to show you what we can do afterwards. There you go. So I'm not going to mix this one, all right, I'm just going to pour this one on. But I want to show you what we can achieve if something isn't quite the way you want it. Okay, so I think we'll just pour it straight across for this one, shall we? Yeah, go on then. So I'm just going to pour this around on this one. Okay. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to add some white around my edges, maybe cut through there, right, cut through there, maybe some of there. Okay, and we're going to see how we go on this now. All right then. Woo. So far, not too bad. Yeah, so we're going to tip it around. I would normally leave that for a little while. Get your heat tool on it, get the sails going at this stage, and then they become longer when you tip it. Once I get my heat tool, I will give you a quick demonstration next time, as soon as I've got one, I think. So I'm just going to tip it because I want to show you how you can play another way with the techniques. Okay, I'm just going to grab that end. Okay, let's go that way. Whoops, and then we'll go that way. Whee. Okay. Yep. So there we go. Really, really quick and easy. Oh, it's quite nice actually. I quite like it. Huh? I've had 2 successful ones I actually like. So we have got the chartreuse. We have got the fuchsia pink in this one. Okay. And I've got the white. So if I decided though that I wanted something else in there, I think, or something missing, or I haven't added enough of the colour in, what I can do then, she says, trying to find, I can only use these colours. I get these little bottles. Hi Brenda. These little mini glue bottles with a very, very fine tips. Yeah, those ones. And I use these to pipe the paint on. Okay. Or pipe into the paint. Another technique you can do. Okay. So these you can use to draw with in your technique. All right. So I'm just trying to think what colours I've got here. That's the only thing. Okay. Chartreuse and yellow, and this is really gold, that one. I'll try to put a bit of green in, I think it's the nearest colour. And this is, all this is kiwi green, and the same thing we've done before. Put some bit of the wash up liquid in the water, into here, a little bit of water, but I haven't put any oil or anything into this one. So I just use the top there. I'm going to bring it down into the nib, okay? Yes, Kaylee, no problem at all. I'll tell you what, I will try and get this onto my YouTube channel I've just started. Well, I'm just starting next week, actually. Hopefully I should have something up there for you. But yes, I will do it. If you'd rather have it in writing, let me know. But I will be doing, I could do a little YouTube tutorial, not a problem. Right, so with this now, because if you see, okay, we've got a really fine nib here. All right. really fine nib. So we can use these now to fill in finer details, so to speak. Okay, this isn't the colours we'd normally use. Okay, I got one here that's the bright orange, so maybe I'll use a bright orange. Again, down to my nib. You can see, you get the colour on there. And then this, then I could, if I wanted to, go into areas and fill or add in. You see? So I can go in and draw into areas that I want that extra pop of colour in, or a bit that I felt that I'd missed. Okay, so say I want a little bit orange around here, I'll show you when you can see it. Okay, so it's up to you. You can add blobs, you can draw with it. I think they're really handy bottles to have. Maybe if you wanted to add in a little bit of orange on the edge here. And maybe you'd say, I'll tell you what, I don't like that one, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw that line there is now becoming an orange trail of colour. Can you see how we can use these little bottles to add in finer lines of detail into our piece? You see that? So that's what I like about these, is we can actually draw in extra colour, add in extra flowy pieces like this. What I can also show you is we can then draw with the stick then to create whatever you want to do. But you can see how I'm piping into it to add in extra details along maybe some line of design that's already there. Okay, so you can see those extra lines now of detail. I hope you can see them. I am going to bring that up. Ooh, tripping. Okay, so I'm hoping you can see those very, very fine lines. So I always keep a whole set of bottles ready to go with different colours in when I'm working with them. Alright. And I always put that little thing back in. They're really cheap. You get loads. You get like a pack of 10, some off Amazon. Okay. So, but what you could do then is, if you're not, you could take your bokeh tool, okay, and you could also draw colour into it. Okay. So say, she says, I know what colour I'm going to draw into it now. Just an example. Okay. My tool then, what I could do is I could use this then and pull out really fine detail with the paint. So I'm using it like you would on a cocktail stick, and just draw it through wherever you want those little bits of detail to be, so you don't get a really hard line anywhere. You can just pull them through. So if I add in a little bit more white, because this is only a play one just to show you this technique, okay. So if I were to add in some white, I haven't got a spare bottle, I'm afraid. So if I add in, I'm going to come up here a minute. Okay, just going to add in some dots, doesn't matter because it's only a play piece. So I've added some dots in now that I'm not going to move around too much, but you can see I can add them in because I actually like the colour in the centre. So I've added those in, but then what you can do, don't forget, it's just play, because you can draw these shapes out into your design. They don't have to be where you've left them, if you see what I mean. So don't be afraid to add designs into it. Okay, there you go. All right, so don't be afraid, you just keep adding and playing so you get to play and pull the colour out, and once it's all dry it just sits lovely on there, it does. So, oops, there we go. Oh, you could, yeah, I suppose you could write something with them, couldn't you? You could write into them. Good idea there. I wish I had oh, let's see if I've got a spare bottle. Oh, here we are. Okay, there's a spare bottle here. And let's see if I can, without spilling too much, put some white into here. She says. I'm spilling most of it, but we're getting some in there. Okay. She says. Ooh, baby wipes. Baby wipes. Oh, if everyone's interested. I know I shouldn't really say it on here, but at the moment, a big box of 12 packs of Huggies and Tesco's are only £6.50. Well, there you go. They're on offer. Only buy them on offer. Right then, so I pop some white into here. Okay. Screw my lid on. Yeah, Catriona, I am going to play a minute. Okay. So, let me just get my flow going. Get my flow. Okay. So, I suppose you could, depending on, I may have to let it dry a bit for that. I don't know, but let's have a look. How it would dry. I've got my name on it. There you go. There you go. So I can pipe my name into it. Oh, I think that's good. So yes, you could pipe into it the writing, Catriona. If you get the right consistency and do it at the right time, why not? Because then you'd have something, you could write your own words into it. Okay. So I could put, let's have a go. There we go. Yay! How's that? Let's turn it the right way around so you can actually see. So, there you go. Fly! I don't know what's on there, but it's good. So yes, you could do that, because our bottles are ideal. Absolutely fabulous. Right then, let me just show you a couple of the bits I got around me. I'm going to pop this one to dry. Thank you, Catriona. That's great. So, oh, there we go. Got loads on there. So, got a mess I've made. Never mind. I've got some pieces that I was doing earlier on, different variations of it. So this one here, okay, hope you can see it. So this one here, I've used a lot of the gold and the pink. I've got some beautiful cells going on there. I'm hoping you can see it. Okay, so it might be better down there actually. So I've got some beautiful cells going on in this one. And that was with using a little bit extra of the blending solution, plus some of the lubricant spray, WD-40. Okay, and I got some really, really nice cells. And that's almost dry now because of Starlight. Then what I'll do is, once that is dry, to make it shiny, I would take some of this Crafts Companion Spray and Shine or something similar. And I would just start adding my layers of and I get mine. There you go. Let the layers dry in between. I'm just to show you. Get it spot to get it shiny. Okay. So then I would start adding my shine to it. Okay. So that was one I did. This one isn't dry yet. I've had to put the lips up so they don't touch one another. This one here was doing the pastels. Okay, so again, using the I think WD-40 in this one. I've got some lovely cells going on in the white there, if you can see. It's really, really pretty. Okay, so that's still dry at the moment. To give it paint, loose paint on it. But, oh, I don't know can you see the shimmer? I don't know, you can see it actually sparkles because of the Starlights, because there's real metal flakes in that Starlight paint. And then, more unusual one, she says. I was playing with the bottles. The only reason why I've done this one was I wanted to show you the cells. Again, this is using the lubricant spray. And this one, I had extra paint left over, so I didn't want to waste it. So I thought I'd use it. And I've used the bottles, as you can see, to completely line round and add in extra gold. And then I've just used, again, the pokey tool to, just put a scratch in it. Oh, just put my finger in it. Come on, I'll cover that paint. To add in little details. So again, I was just playing with extra paint that I had left over. Okay. And then the last one I was playing with was this one. This one isn't dry yet. Now I have used the Magic Glaze, but I've used more Magic Glaze in this one than I had extra Magic Glaze, and it stayed wetter for a lot longer. You can see it's still wet, and this is the first one I did out of these 4, and that is still wet. Then I thought, because I didn't put a lot of paint in the background, so I didn't get as much movement as I wanted, and the colours were quite dark, I decided I'm going to add in some of the white. So again, I've used the white, I've just lots of little spots, and then I've taken the poker tool again and just dragged them out. But I thought it'd be a nice background for the start of something. Bit of lovely colours, and I my favourite emerald. So that's come out really well. I love this bit that's in the corner here. Really like that one. Okay, you've got to have a go, Amanda. Really have it. It's just such fun. There's so much you can do with it. Our lovely Sarah Lou, you must have seen all her gorgeous artwork she's done for Imagination Crafts. She done Starlight Pour onto a necklace. So it's a band of metal, and she's done the Starlight Pour onto a necklace, and it looks fantastic. Again, you could pour onto your candles. If for decoration only, pour onto your candles. You could do a version of a Starlight Pour using your candle paint and a little bit of gesso. You'd probably okay to light that if you're careful. Obviously, never leave anything unattended or if you're not there. Okay, so there's lots of different things you can pour these onto, and lots of different ways you can use them. All right. So I just wanted to give you a starter for 10 really on what you could do, because you can also pour on and use a straw. You can do the blow effect on it as well. So there's lots and lots you can absolutely do with these. So don't think there's only one way to do it. There isn't. There are lots of different ways and lots of different products you can use into them. Again, my top products, which I absolutely love, okay, are my Magi Blend. I got my Magi Bond and my, hold on, where's he gone? Oh, Magi Glaze, my Magi Bond glue. Again, I did make a pouring medium myself, and that was just to give you, if you want to make your paints more fluid, and you add these to the paint. This is 2/3 Magi Bond glue and 1/3 water. That's all it is mixed together, okay? And that's just for your basic pouring medium to go into your paints. My preferred combination though is when I use my Magi Glaze and the gesso or paint with my little bit of Magi Blend, and I find that that as the pouring medium really works well for me. So they are 2 fantastic products you need in your basket, really are. Okay, I'm just like, I just love them. And then with your gesso, obviously we use the white gesso as well for our base, but again make sure you really mix it well. But those 3 together, my favourite combination for my paint base. All right, and then to create your sails, you could use, I'll give you a couple of options. You can use a lubricant spray. You can use extra Magi Bond, Magi Blend into your paint. A little extra of that works really well. You can actually use, be careful, you can actually use a little bit of stick away. It sits on the surface, but when they pour the paint on top of it, it does give you sails. So your stick away as well works. Alright, so, and then your cooking oil. This is vegetable oil, olive oil, any of that. Just use that to stops the paints from blending. It makes them separate and pull away, which gives you the sails. Okay, so, and of course, nothing without our fabulous star of the show, Starlight Paints. So another thing you can do with them. Never ending what you can do with this product. It's amazing. All right. So I'm hoping you've enjoyed that. I know I was waffling on a bit. As you can see, I was having a bit too much more. Oh, a bit too much fun, I think. That's what it was. I hope I've given you some ideas to use the Starlight Paints with anyway. I won't be here now. I won't be here next Sunday, I'm afraid. I won't be here. My husband's doing a 10K next week, and I'm his support team, so I won't be here, I'm afraid. The following Sunday, me and Sue are actually up at Craftaganza doing workshops, so I'm afraid I won't be here. But what I will try and do is get a little YouTube video up in between with a project on there for you. Okay, so I'll be back then. The 18th would be when I'm back live, actual live. Okay, heads up though. I love this. Heads up. 2nd and 3rd November, ODS with Sue. You don't want to miss it. You really don't. The theme is, I hope you don't mind me saying, is, let me give you it, it's ooh la la. That's all I'm going to say. Think of the Eiffel Tower. There's some fabulous, fabulous projects that Sue will be doing for you. Her demos are amazing, as usual, they always are, but they are amazing, so pretty. And the DT have done some wonderful samples. I'm very jealous because I was so busy with my show, I didn't get a chance to join in, so I was like, ooh. So I'm going to join in later on. But please join Sue for the ODS on the 2nd of November. Okay, at, was it? Can't remember what time it's at. 6 o'clock, I think. 6 and 8, isn't it, on the first day? Please, 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 please put your diary, join, and you get a fabulous show. There's so much on there she wants to share with you. Really, really beautiful samples. I can't say it enough, but it is. So thank you for joining me. I will see you on the 18th of November. In between, I will try and post something for you on the YouTube channel, which starts next week for me. Hope you've had a great weekend. Have a really, really good week, and I will see you on the 18th. Any questions below in the comments, I will come back to you. Any ideas for the next show, please let me know, okay? So have a great week. Ciao.